Oh, I'm so ready. Oh, yeah.
And we are live. Welcome to episode 135 of the Beastly Thoughts video game podcast.
Fucking hell, we're old.
Greetings and
You're old, that
salutations.
out there.
I'm young. I'm a spring chicken over here.
Yeah, I'm more
I'm
like
not
a
going to
turkey.
comment on that. That is not true, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yo, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, like a lot to talk about in December.
No kidding,
It's
man.
insane.
Who thought? Yeah. No
Totally insane. Let me just start by saying this. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to see you guys. I've been thinking about this show heavily for the last 48 hours.
Uh-huh.
It's really been insane. I didn't even think about PlayStation Experience. PSX completely, was out of my mind until my wife said, "Hey, hon, PSX is getting ready to start. You want to watch it?" I was like, "Oh, it's today?"
Yeah.
It was one of those situations.
Caught me off guard, too.
Completely blew me out of the water. Of course, we had the Game Awards happen this
It was
week.
like an E3 presentation. It was
It really
insane.
was. Well,
Like,
see, the thing was,
so many like games got announced, so many trailers got shown for the first time. Like, it was really good.
yeah, I mean, at both. Like, the Game Awards showed Hideo Kojima's new game, Death Stranding. It showed Guillermo del Toro's actually in the game. More of a
right?
fuck you to Konami, right? They showed new reveals at the Game Awards. And to me, I was like, wow, this is really a nice Christmas gift. The end of the year, putting a nice bow on some exciting new games coming out. And to me, the biggest surprises came from PSX, which I wasn't expecting. To be totally honest, last year I was let down by PSX. It was probably
Tell me.
it was the show of the year that I was least excited about. When it was over, I was like, why? What was the point of even doing that? It was nothing really exciting. And so with that in mind, this PSX, I didn't know what to expect. But Sony came in, they blew the fucking roof off of the place with the very first reveal.
No kidding.
And then they just proceeded to continue to crank out hit after hit after hit until the very end. So they started on an insane note, and they ended on an incredible and unbelievable note.
Yeah.
It's just been a hell of a week. Welcome to Beastly Thoughts.
Right.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I want to do what you've been playing, but I want to make it quick because
Let's do it quick. Okay.
like we got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about the stuff we saw in PSX, and I want to talk about the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's Game Awards that aired, because I thought that was pretty interesting. Some of the picks that they picked. Robbie, do you have like the full list of the games that
Winners.
I should bring up the nominees, actually. Let me go find those.
won?
Okay.
Just the winners is fine. Yeah, the nominees would probably be helpful too.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right. So
Awesome.
while he's doing that, let's talk about what we've been playing.
All right.
Real quick, run through the gamut. You guys knew last week I was playing Dishonored 2. I like it more this week than I did last week. The game has some incredible mechanics I've never seen in any game before that last week I hadn't unlocked. There's this one thing that you can do in the game that really blew my mind, and it's only there for a certain period of time throughout the game, and it's not there for the rest of the game. It's the ability to hold up basically this little piece of glass, and you look through it, and you can look through time. So you're in this old dilapidated location, and everything is just destroyed. But when you hold up the glass, you can see in the past when it was prestigious, when there are people walking around, when there were enemies there, and you can basically look and see where you need to go right to that period of time where everything is beautiful again, kill those enemies, grab what you need, go back to the dilapidated version, and basically you can walk around. There's enemies coming towards you. You're looking through the glass. They walk through you, you turn around and look at them, you have their back, then you go to the time where they're in and you stealthily kill them, and then you jump back and forth through time. Incredible game. I'm really feeling more and more like a badass now. Another game I've been playing, I started playing this the day before yesterday, Titanfall 2. I put probably 2 hours into this game. Of course, I didn't get much time in the original Titanfall game because by the time I started playing it, everybody was already gone.
Yeah, and there was no single player, so.
Yeah. Titanfall 2, I love the single player. I love how they're bringing basically this whole idea of this autonomous artificial intelligence in the form of this Titan, whose job is to bond with you, learn who you are, protect you, and vice versa. The game plays extremely well. I told you during the pre-show. As far as the gunplay, the way that you feel maneuvering in the world, as far as your character, the actual weapons themselves, it's one of the best feeling first-person shooters I played. It just feels... It's almost like an extension of your hands. It just moves so
tight.
well. Yeah,
it feels really tight.
all the wall running and the double jump, all it just makes a lot of sense, and it feels really, really good. I haven't gotten too deep into the single player campaign yet.
I'm looking forward to once you get into the single player campaign. I'm looking forward to what you think about what they did with some of the missions, because like not only do you get like the great gameplay that is the base mechanics of Titanfall, but they really play around with the the mission objectives and the structures of the levels and what you actually.
I think I may have seen some of that stuff.
Yeah,
where you go in as a Titan, you get to a certain point, you can't progress any further. You got to leave the Titan. The Titan, of course, is autonomous. He'll say, "Okay, we need to separate. I'm going to go this way. You go do what you need to do," and he's tracking you, telling you what you need to do. You have to open doors and do all kinds of stuff to get him to where you are. It's really fun, and that might not be what you're talking about, but so far, what I've played, it's really, really been fun, and I look forward to next week.
They play with the game mechanics a lot in the single-player campaign. Like, it's pretty impressive, and it really diversifies like what you actually are doing in that game in a huge way.
And just to be known, I'm doing what I always say I'm not going to do. I'm really trying hard to beat, Dishonored 2, but at the same time, I got Skyrim remastered. I haven't even tried it yet, haven't played it yet, haven't even loaded it up yet. And I know that's going to kill a lot of my time. I'm supposed to be getting back into The Witcher 3 with you. Mm-hmm. And since last week, I haven't even had a chance to do it because all this new stuff. It's just so tough. It's so many games to play. I mean, it's not like it was 20 years ago. 1 or 2 really good games every 3 or 4 months. Now they release 10 games the same day. They're all triple A titles or exclusives that you really want to play. And it makes it extra hard for you to get your hands on all of them and play them and give them their due diligence.
But 2016 was a stunning year for video games.
Yeah.
So much good stuff came out.
It's been
really,
insane.
really good stuff.
It has.
Robbie, what have you been playing?
Haven't been playing much this week, but I have been playing a couple things I got from the Black Friday sales, and I've been playing Dark Souls 3 a lot because I got that for $25, which I was very happy about. Been playing that with friends, and I love that game. Like, it's tough as shit, but it's a lot of fun, man. I mean, just learning how to kill bosses, learning how to get through sections, like, I have to do this a certain way. The game doesn't teach you anything. You have to learn everything, and that's what I love about it.
Or you can look up a YouTube video.
True. Yeah. Once you fight a boss like 8-10 times, you're like, all right, maybe I want to see how this is done and all that. But Dark Souls is just really fun. And then the other thing I've been playing is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I got this week and I tried that out. And honestly, I would say it's okay. Wasn't
last year's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's the latest Assassin's Creed that's come out. Obviously, there is no game this year. There will be one next year, but so far, I think it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? It just feels like an Assassin's Creed game at this point. It just feels like the same ground we covered for years now.
Yeah, those have gotten really stale.
Yeah, it's fine, but nothing amazing. So it's okay, but yeah, that's about it for me, though.
I've been playing. I finally finished not Last of Us. I finally finished Uncharted 4.
Play that,
after watching the trailer for the next Uncharted game, I went immediately to my PlayStation and I finished it. I only had like 3 chapters left, and I finished that up. I was really disappointed by the ending. I don't want to talk about the ending. I feel like it's probably still too early to talk about spoilers, but I got to tell you, I was really disappointed by the ending.
Really?
Yeah, I've been playing Doom, still trucking away at Doom. I absolutely adore that game. Playing it on the PC, it runs buttery smooth. It's so fun to like kind of get back into the mouse and keyboard style of play. I've really been having fun with that. But The Witcher is the game right now that is really holding my attention. I went like a week without playing it and got back into it this week. And what's incredible, right, is that there's a ton of side quests, but there are no side quests that feel just like I'm only doing this to get experience. Almost all of them are interesting and fun in their own way. And the world is so fully realized. So here's a story: I'm hanging around in this new city. I think it's called Novigrad. I can't remember the name of the city. And I come across a barber shop. I'm like, oh, okay, time to get the hair trimmed up, right? Time for a new hairstyle. So I previously was rocking like kind of this mohawk with a ponytail. I was getting a little sick of it. I decided I wanted to do something a little short, but still stylish. Go into the barbershop. Barber seems a little on the drunk side, but I'm like, you know what? Who the fuck cares? I'm sure there's some kind of story that this is gonna something's gonna happen here.
You'll just get better service.
We're gonna play this out. So I picked the hairstyle I want for my Witcher, for Garrett, for Geralt, whatever his name is.
Geralt.
Garrett.
And you know, it does like the little fade to black and fades back in, and I've got this like emo haircut with like hair hanging into my eyes. And Geralt immediately says to the barber, "This is not the haircut I asked for." And the barber gives no shits. He's like, "Fuck you. You get what life gives you. That's how life is." It was like,
Damn.
like you can't even be mad because like in game you're like, "Wait a minute, I just paid for this haircut. You're giving me my money back. I'm the fucking Witcher, son. You don't fuck with me." But outside of the game, like as a player, you're just like, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So I've been rocking this emo haircut for the last couple of days, and every time I look at my character, I chuckle because of this drunk barber who gave me the haircut.
Yeah.
I've also been doing the Perma Destiny challenge. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was listening.
I've also been doing the Perma Destiny challenge, or Destiny challenge in Destiny. That's been a lot of fun. Basically, you start a brand new character on a brand new account, and you play until you die. The goal is to get as many exotics as you can. There's a lot of streamers trying this, and it's a lot of fun because you know, every mission you go into is like a high stress environment. Because if you die, you have to delete your character.
Ooh.
So
Permadeath
that's been a lot
Destiny.
of fun. Yeah. So
Wow.
you know, it's almost like playing like a roguelike or something where, you know, you collect everything you can, but if you die, you lose it all.
Over.
It's all over.
God,
That's been really fun. Like I've really been enjoying it. So that's what I've been playing. More old games.
Gotta catch up.
I want to talk about
man.
some new games.
Absolutely.
So do you want to do the Video Game Awards or do you want to do the PSX first?
Well, the Video Game Awards happened first. I do have a list, but this list is pretty much everything. I can go through the not the nominations, but the categories, and we can talk about whichever ones you guys want to talk about. I'll save the game of the year for the end. But best VR game was Res Infinite.
Okay.
On PlayStation VR, and the runners-up were Batman: Arkham VR, Eve Valkyrie, Job Simulator, and Thumper. Which Thumper is amazing.
Thumper is amazing, but it basically doesn't matter if it's on VR or on a television screen.
I felt, it was just so different, playing it in VR.
Yeah.
It really, really was incredible.
The gameplay doesn't change. Maybe your experience with the game changes a little bit. I would have given it to Eve Valkyrie because that game feels like it immerses you in a world, but Res Infinite is a good pick too.
Speaking off the cuff, have you tried the new Resident Evil VR demo, Brian?
No, I haven't. It just got released yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try that. I'll do it live on stream so that everybody can make fun of me peeing my pants on live TV.
That'll be the best.
All right, so let me go back to the top of the list. Best studio for game direction. The winner was Blizzard for Overwatch.
Well deserved, I think.
Of course, which is deserved. The runners-up were DICE for Battlefield 1, id Software for Doom, Naughty Dog for Uncharted 4, and Respawn for Titanfall 2.
Oh, so that was
this almost, right? We're going to talk about Game of the Year. Can we just give it away? I mean, everybody knows that Overwatch won Game of the Year.
Overwatch won Game of the Year.
So this one almost feels like it goes hand in hand. Like, best developer is going to make the best game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what the fuck? Like,
that's
why
true.
Is
they
it two
seem like
different
the
awards?
same award.
Unless you have, I could see giving it to somebody else. Like if you, maybe the team that made two of the best games, they weren't, like they didn't, neither one of them won the best game of the year, but two of the best games this year, then you bump them up. But come on, I mean, the best developer ought to win best game too, right? Like they kind of go hand in hand. That's a weird one.
Yeah, that's what you would think. But another one, which of course Overwatch wouldn't be in, best narrative. The winner was Uncharted 4: Thief's End, which is Naughty Dog. And the runners-up were Firewatch, is a game you guys have that I never tried, Inside, which I've heard a lot from Robbie about, Mafia 3, and Oxenfree. Yeah. So those are all very narrative-driven experiences. And crazy enough, the only one I've ever tried was Uncharted 4, so I feel like a loser on that front.
I think the thing about Inside specifically, I'm going to say, is that it tells a narrative, and it's really compelling without ever saying a word. Like there's not a single line of dialogue spoken through that entire game, and it does what it does so well. That's really captivating to me.
You mentioned this game to me months ago. I still haven't tried it. I've seen,
only like
short,
2 hours, 2.5 hours.
I think it's 4 hours actually closer to.
Is it a console game or is it a Steam type of game?
No, it's on everything. It's on everything.
Really? Yep. I'm going to have to try it because Inside also won Best Art Direction.
Wonderful game, guys. You really do need to try it. Yeah.
And if the runners-up in art direction were Abzu, Firewatch, Overwatch, there's a lot of watches in there, and Uncharted 4.
A lot of watches.
Yeah. Something that I really like, a lot of people don't because I'm an audiophile when it comes to game soundtracks. The best music and sound design winner was Doom.
That deserved it, man. I love that soundtrack. As someone who loves heavy metal, that is sick. I love that soundtrack.
It fits, too. The guns sound great, too. Yeah. Like, the guns sound great. The monsters sound great. Being in that room, I remember playing Doom when I was a kid, right, for the first time, and I remember like hearing those monsters around me and like being scared, right? And it was amazing how I go into Doom, 2016, and I have the same feeling after all these years. Like, how can they do it? Like, it's amazing. I'm surprised, frankly, they didn't win Developer of the Year because for them to bring out a modern version of Doom that so faithfully recreates Doom, but also is so fresh and so fun and so 2016, I think is a miracle. Like, they pulled off a fucking miracle, if you ask me.
This doesn't happen.
If the multiplayer was better, I think they would have won it.
Yeah. Well, I can totally agree with you there. I think the multiplayer is fun enough. I don't know if it's fun enough for a hardcore fan to stay with it for a year straight. The campaign certainly is amazing.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about Doom that blew my mind was as a teenager, I played the original Doom 2, and that entire thing, that whole nostalgia effect really came back tenfold with the Doom remake. Yeah. Or Doom, the reboot. All the music, all that stuff felt so faithful to the original game. And the music, look at me. Do I look like a heavy metal fan? I fucking love the music in that game, though. It really was. It was well deserved.
It fits. Yeah. It fits.
Sure. It's really good. Best performance went to Nolan North as Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4. The runners up were Alex Hernandez as Lincoln in Mafia 3, Sissy Jones as Delilah in Firewatch, Emily Rose as Elena in Uncharted 4, Rich Summers as Henry in Firewatch. I've really got to try Firewatch. And Troy Baker as Sam Drake in Uncharted 4 Thief's End. I think this is, it was a give me. I mean, to me, Nathan was such a likable character, and the way that they
rap. It's too obvious, man. I mean, they're all awesome. All these.
What was cool? I just finished playing through that game, and what was cool about it was that he had real conflict in that game, right? As he was, he goes off on an adventure with his brother without telling his wife. And then his wife kind of catches him, and there's real struggle for Nathan in that game where, he's got to decide, like, what do I want my future to look like? Do I want to be married? Do I want to have kids? Like, is that my future? Or do I want to continue being this kind of like rogue adventurer with my brother? And it was, pulled it off. He pulled it off perfectly. Like, it felt believable all the way up till the very fucking bitter end.
Yeah.
I didn't like the end of that game.
Oh, man.
I loved it.
You liked it. I'm sure it just made you sad, Briar. I mean, seeing that end, oh, man. And there's more Uncharted news later on in the show. Another award that I didn't even see coming, but really made my eyes water, and I'm not joking, I really felt an emotional connection watching the recipient of this award was the Games for Impact Award.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The Games for Impact Award, this highlights developers who create games that really go with struggles that people have in everyday life, people with disabilities, people with issues, people with cancer. And it shines a light on these issues in a way that allows people to interact with them positively through gaming. And the winner of the Impact Award was a game called That Dragon, Cancer, from Numinous Games. And the recipient took the stage and talked about this award and how this whole game was an idea that he and his wife came up with that went along with his son battling cancer, and how it really affected him and his family and his son. And the people playing this game, Dragon, That Dragon Cancer, got to know his son through playing this game. And I was looking at it. I was like, at first I didn't know what was going on, but immediately upon watching him take that award and watching him tear up and watching the emotional resonance between him and
so
everyone watching.
Man. I almost cried. I was like, damn.
I wanted to play that game, and it's probably going to be something that I play. And the other games that were nominees were Blockhood, Orwell, and Sea Hero.
Never heard of any of those.
And I'm sorry, 1979 Revolution. But all these games, I believe, just based on this category, need to be played because more than likely they tell a tale that most developers don't know about and many don't care about. So that was really a special category. Best indie game should be on PlayStation Vita. The winner is Inside, right? Inside, again, they were taking a lot of awards. And obviously, it's a fantastic game. The runners-up were Firewatch, Hyper Light Drifter, Stardew Valley, and The Witness. So,
people love Stardew Valley. I was actually surprised that didn't win. That was crazy.
I felt like that was a shoe-in.
Okay, so here we go with something that my kids know about, and probably yours too, Briar. Oh, and Robbie. The best mobile handheld game.
Just whatever.
The winner. Pokemon Go by Niantic. Is anybody surprised by that?
Does anybody care about this?
I'm a little annoyed that one, to be honest. Like, Pokemon Go wasn't a bad game, but I feel like it wasn't deserving.
It was kind of bad.
Yeah.
It was kind of broken for a long fucking time.
Well, yeah, it was broken so long that's why the decline in players has, hit the precipice it is now, because there was so many issues and people were investing money and trying so hard to find out where these Pokemon were. And at the same time, Niantic was putting in stipulations that actually stopped that progression. And people said, hey, you know what? I'm done with this game. But another game in this category that I didn't even know about, well, I guess I do know about it, but Monster Hunter Generations is on there as well. Monster Hunter is a fantastic game. Fire Emblem Fates, of course, on 3DS, and Severed. Severed was a very popular game on just as far as handhelds go, and it's on the PlayStation Vita. All right, best action game, Doom.
Yeah,
of course.
Totally I think a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Doom is just so much action. The runners up in this category were Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, and Titanfall 2. So those are all great games, and I played them all except for Gears.
You really call Overwatch an action game? I would think that would just sit firmly in the multiplayer.
What constitutes action now?
I don't know. I guess I mean, it's multiplayer only. It only gets to be in the multiplayer. But I guess it is. You're shooting. I guess it's action.
Yeah. Well, the best action adventure game, the winner is Dishonored 2. So that is, to me, I didn't even see this part of the actual conference or the awards, but I totally 100% agree with that. It's really
better than Uncharted 4.
It's on the list. It's a great damn game, Briar. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's not. I mean, it's something I want to play. I was playing it right before I came back here to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I got so many games to play, and I got newer games I just picked up. And the fact remains that while my wife is playing Titanfall 2, I'm still walking around Dishonored trying to find every little thing I can because it's enjoyable. Yeah. It's really fun to sneak up on people and use these crazy abilities on them and just, slice people's heads off or impale you through your eye because I'm a badass. It's a really fun game. The runners up in this category were Hitman, Hyper Light Drifter, Ratchet & Clank, and Uncharted 4 Thieves' End. So it's a well-deserved an award. The best role-playing game, the winner, is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt DLC Blood and Wine, which I haven't played. I wanted to ask you that, Brian. You're playing The Witcher 3 now on PC. Mm-hmm. Do you have all the DLC as well?
Yeah, it came with all the DLC. I haven't gotten that far, but isn't it kind of weird that a DLC pack wins?
That is weird, especially over Dark Souls 3, man. That's what I wanted to win for RPG. That's the only category was nominated.
This isn't best role-playing art DLC of the year.
DLC, it's just the best role-playing
game of the year, which is kind of bullshit if you ask me.
But Blood and Wine is supposed to be an extremely expensive DLC. It's
supposed to be like the same size as the full game.
It's a really big game, and so people voted for this.
Yeah, so that's the thing about this, right? Is that it's not like a team of experts that have come to the conclusion. This was voted on by the public, and I think it kind of shows.
Yeah.
The runners-up were Dark Souls 3 for Robbie, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, World of Warcraft Legion.
Another expansion.
And,
well, that's kind of different. WoW was kind of like expansions are their own games almost for that game. It's been just going so long.
And Xenoblade Chronicles X. Way to go, Xenoblade. So, I mean, I guess it's all subjective, but the one thing we need to know is these are all games that people need to be playing. The best fighting game. Anybody surprised? Street Fighter V. I'm actually a little surprised.
A game launched completely fucking, I guess, lack of competition? I don't know.
Well, let me just say this because I got Street Fighter V when it first came out. Yeah. Street Fighter V, when it launched, it was missing content, but the core gameplay was perfect.
Okay.
The stuff that made Street Fighter amazing hasn't changed.
Okay.
The fact that it was missing, arcade mode or practice modes, those were tangible issues.
The game.
It was missing portions of the game that people
expect. Actual game in there.
Yeah. But the portion of the game that the hardcore wanted was there, and it worked flawlessly.
Like you could jump online and battle your friends in Street Fighter.
Yeah, it was a lot harder back then. The runners-up were Killer Instinct Season 3, King of Fighters, 15, and Pokken Tournament, which is the Nintendo Wii U Tekken / Pokemon game, which I actually was considering buying. Now, Briar, this is for myself and you, my friend. The best family game. No, it's not. The winner's Pokemon Go. Holy shit!
What? Really? It won that too? I didn't know that. Oh my god!
I got to get rid of my family. Dragon Quest Builders was a runner-up. Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Ratchet and Clank, and Skylanders Imaginators.
Ratchet and Clank should have won.
Why does this make it sound really lame to be a family? Okay, best strategy game was Civilization 6.
Families are lame.
It's
a simple set.
It's like you meet someone and say, "Oh, you're a family," and you want to say, "No, I don't know."
They got their moments.
Hey, yeah, they can shine in times of need. But Civilization 6 won best strategy game. Runners up were Fire Emblem Fates, The Banner Saga 2, which is a game I own that's very, very difficult for me to play, Total War, Warhammer, and XCOM 2. And we're almost to the bottom of the list. Best sports / racing game. Did you guys see this actual category? It was really, really weird to me.
That was weird because it's all sports games and then the one racing game is sports.
What one strategy game?
Civilization 6.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have given it either that or XCOM. That was obvious to me. Yeah. That was obvious.
All right.
But the best sports racing game winner was Forza Horizon 3. Mm-hmm. The runners-up. Now tell me how these fit together in your mind. The runners-up are FIFA 17, MLB The Show, NBA 2K17, and Pro Evolution Soccer. But Forza Horizon 3 won the category. It's really, really weird.
That's bizarre to me, too. Yeah.
Weird to put the driving games and the sports games in the same category.
But only one driving game was there, and it beat the shit out of all the sports games.
Yeah, I think it should have won, though, because I don't care about the rest of them.
I don't know. How do you judge a soccer game versus a baseball game, versus a driving game? I don't know. It's a weird category.
Weird. Best multiplayer
Destiny
game.
SRL.
The best multiplayer game winner is Overwatch by Blizzard. The runners-up were Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, Titanfall 2, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Wow, that was on there. Surprising. Overwatch is an amazing game. I was telling my wife this before we did the show. It's amazing that people end up wanting the thing that they claim that they don't. For a long time, I was one of the people as well who was adamantly against online-only games that don't have campaigns, and you have to be online to play them. I'm sure you guys heard
I was asking Call of Duty to do it for the last 5 years. Why are you still making a single-player campaign? Nobody likes this shit.
Yeah, well, it's obvious that there was a winning formula with Blizzard because Overwatch won numerous awards, and that's all they had to offer.
They do really smart things with that game, though, with like the weekly stuff and like the playlists and the ranked play. Like they do really smart stuff with that, and the characters are all very good and interesting. The level design is very good. It's a bright, cheerful game. I like that game a lot.
It makes you feel good to shoot people in the ass in that game. For some reason, it's really great. The next few categories we're going to skip because I'm sure no one who watches our show cares about the best esports player. We don't know his name. Don't care to know. Best esports team. The best esports team. The best esports game. The trending gamer was Boogie2988.
Love that guy.
Yes, very happy about that.
He deserved that, and he's a very humble YouTuber, very popular Twitch streamer, just an overall really good guy. It took me a long time to come around to Boogie because initially I was like, I'm a big guy too. I want the same, but let me just slow down and maybe grow on my own. But Boogie won. He was going against Angry Joe, who will probably get it next year. Danny O'Dwyer, Japsepticeye, and what is it, Lyric?
Lyric. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't follow these guys. I'm too old for that shit. The most anticipated game. The winner was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The runners-up were God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect Andromeda, and Red Dead Redemption 2. I agree with all those except... Man, this is a very... I'm really, really surprised The Legend of Zelda beat out God of War. I'm surprised that they beat out Red Dead Redemption 2. Say what?
The only thing I could see beating it, Legend of Zelda out was Andromeda. Everything else on that list. No way. Zelda.
God of War looked like it was going to... Is it? Yeah, Zelda is Zelda, but Red Dead Redemption 2? It's exciting.
Red Dead Redemption.
I'm so excited for that.
I think that they own that. I think they own that. Now let's talk about the actual winner and were you guys actually surprised? Game of the year. The winner was Blizzard's Overwatch. The runners-up were Doom, which I was really proud to see them there. Ooh. Inside, which is another game I've never played, but I hear great things about. Titanfall 2, which I'm getting into now, and I love. And Uncharted 4 was the game that I said was going to win. No issue here, because I know Overwatch is amazing as well. But I was really shocked. Were you guys surprised to see Overwatch take it from Uncharted?
No,
I
Briar, was. Yeah.
The week before last, Briar, you said that you thought Doom was going to win it, and I didn't know they would even be there. But they were.
I could give it to. I definitely wouldn't give it to Uncharted. In that against that competition, in my opinion, there is no perfect game in there. Like there is no truly perfect game in there. But Overwatch is pretty good. I could see why it got voted in. I don't know if it would have been my pick, but I could see why it got voted in.
Yep.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised. Overwatch is a great game, and it's one that I've spent more time playing Overwatch at this point than I had playing Uncharted 4. So I felt like, it wasn't a missed opportunity or something that they didn't deserve, and I was just happy to see it all. And I thought at the end of the Game Awards, that was going to be our last little hurrah for the year.
Nope.
Tell me about it. PSX 2016 hit, and like a tsunami, it destroyed everybody in its wake. By the end of it, I felt like a person who had just lost his mind. I didn't know that any of this stuff was going to be announced. Now it's here, and we got to talk about this stuff. And let me just say this. From time to time, I make predictions, guys, and some of them are really off the wall. But there are those few predictions that I do make that come true. And one of the predictions that my co-host said wasn't going to happen actually happened this year at PSX 2016. 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were talking about PSX, and I mentioned that I think that they're going to reveal The Last of Us 2. And both of my very handsome co-host said I was fucking out of my mind.
You're like, there's no way it's gonna happen. You're full of shit.
Beasley, I used to have a friend that thought he was psychic because he would always say, "Remember, I just said that was gonna happen. Remember how I just we'd be watching a baseball game and he'd say, I think this guy's gonna hit a home run," and he hit a home run, and he's like, "Look at that, I'm fucking psychic." The thing is he said, "Watch this. This guy's gonna hit a home run for every fucking batter." So yeah, on occasion. Sun shined on his ass.
Jeez.
But you got to look at the total picture here.
The broken clock is right twice a day. All right. That's where we are here. But
before we move on, I something just hit me that I can't believe happened, Beasley, is you didn't say you were playing Final Fantasy 15.
I didn't get it yet.
How the fuck is that happening? You're like the biggest Final Fantasy fan I know.
Yeah. That game's getting good reviews.
I'm really excited about it. My son was very upset that I didn't buy it, but it's only so much time, and I've gotten past the point of that childhood thing where you can just cut something off that you're really enjoying to enjoy something else. I know Final Fantasy 15 is a great game. Everybody who I've heard from really, really enjoys it, family and friends.
I thought you'd be in a tent, like, lined up.
No.
Waiting outside.
Not quite. Actually, before I get to Final Fantasy, I've already lined this up. I know Final Fantasy is going to take 50 hours away from me. Right now, I've got all these games lined up. The only game that I'm considering putting everything aside for right now is The Last Guardian. And that's on the 7th.
Really? You're more excited for The Last Guardian than you are for Final Fantasy?
That's tomorrow night, actually. Yeah, 9 o'clock it's going to be on.
Wow.
And that might come as a surprise, right? Hear me out. Final Fantasy 13 I never liked.
You know what it sounds like to me is that you're like a Fairweather fan of the Final Fantasy series. Like you're all bluster. You're like, oh yeah, I'm a huge fan, but when push comes to shove,
no,
somebody's not there playing Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy games, so don't even try it.
Somebody's not there to support Square Enix.
Listen,
where's your support, Pizza Gamer?
Do you even want to see Final Fantasy VII Remastered? Do you even want to see that?
I mean,
do you really want
it? Don't do this shit. Let me just say this.
Are you really sure you're excited for Final Fantasy VII Remastered?
I will hop on the Chocobo and ride up there and fuck you up right now.
I don't even think you have a Chocobo.
I highly doubt that.
Feather, come over here. Listen, let me just say this.
Sure, you might say you're a Chocobo fan, but when push comes to shove, do you have a Chocobo?
Do you really have one?
Fuck both of you guys, okay? I own every fucking Final Fantasy game. I don't want to hear this. Let me just say this, all right? Some Final Fantasy games are better than others. Final Fantasy 15, I don't know what to expect yet. It's a completely new story. I think I'm going to really enjoy it. Final Fantasy 13 didn't like Final Fantasy 12. I love Final Fantasy 10, 10-2. Didn't like that much. 10 was amazing. Final Fantasy is subjective to whichever Final Fantasy it is. Of course, I'm going to get it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it. Now, there's another company that's made games that let's just put it this way. Team Eco made Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus to me is a game that's very few words, but means almost as much to me as Final Fantasy VII. So I really want to play the next Team Eco game before I get into the next Final Fantasy game, because the Eco games, to me, they are more connected than the Final Fantasy games.
Does Final Fantasy VII really mean that much to you? Are you really sure about that?
I'm going to have it. I'll probably have it within the next week or two.
Are you really going to have it within the next week or two?
God damn it, Robbie. Yes.
This is too much fun.
There's so many games that I have to play right now. This is insane.
Right now, Robbie and I are very lucky there's not a choke button on Skype.
Yeah, or like an ejector seat or something.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to playing it, guys. I definitely am. If I wasn't having as much fun as I'm having in like Dishonored 2 right now, and I did promise you guys I'd get Titanfall 2, so I got that. And, I got Skyrim because it's something I've always loved, and I thought Skyrim was amazing. And, of course, now Final Fantasy 15 is here. And then the day after tomorrow, we're going to have the Last Guardian. It's just not enough fucking time. It's not enough time. It's something I'm going to definitely get into. It's not one of those games that I'm going to wait on. I'll have it probably within the next
time for what's important to you.
Absolutely. And
you make time for Final Fantasy if you're a true fan. Are you a true fan, Beast Gamer?
I'm sorry, PC. I totally derailed this whole podcast.
It's okay. It's okay.
To talk about some new stuff. Why don't you go ahead?
Hold on. I got something to put in real quick. Beastly, you got a question in the chat from Mr. Goodbites. He says, is it possible that the lack of turn-based fighting is what's turning you off from like Final Fantasy 15? Could it be that, or...?
It's not really a turnoff. I think that the real-time action is just as exciting in its own way. It's just the evolution of what the turn-based was. It's a whole new story. It's a whole new characters, people I've got to learn to love. So before I get into it and I start loving these new characters, Noxus and all these other people, I'm going to just wait for a second, because Final Fantasy throughout the history of my life has had a way of kind of pulling me away from reality, pulling me away from the other things in my life that really matter, to the point where I'm just stuck in the game. And, I got people yelling at me, to do things, and I don't want to go to work and all these kind of things. So I'm just I'm just going to wait. It's nothing wrong with Final Fantasy 15. I think it's going to be a really amazing game. With that said, I'm just being a little bit patient. I'm just being patient. Don't listen to Briar or Robbie. They're haters. They drank a whole fucking haterade before the show. Hating on
me, empty, man. It's empty.
Yeah, you got that right.
Did I hear something about haterade?
Yes, you did.
All right, Beasley, tell me what we saw at PSX, because I know there's one thing that had to make you nearly shit a fucking golden brick.
Or cry joyful tears.
I did cry.
Or both.
I really did. I did. And my daughter was in my lap, and I was squeezing her, and she was almost dead at the end of the trailer. I'm sorry, no.
A long trailer.
Did you film your reaction, by the way?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yes! I can't wait for that. Oh, my God. That should be so good.
So, the PSX started with something that really blew my mind, because it was one of the... Every now and then you see a game that looks so good. You're like, what the hell is this? It looks so good. Whoever the developer is amazing. And then you start to notice parallels between this game and another game that you've seen. This is exactly what happened at PSX's first trailer reveal. It showed this woman dressed in Muslim garb running through a Muslim territory, basically sneaking in to do something. And the game ended up being Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy. I don't know what this is. Is it a prequel to Uncharted 4, a sequel to Uncharted 4? Who knows? But they do have apparently characters from other Uncharted games in this.
Yeah, and it was a girl from Uncharted 3 and the other girl from Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4, yeah. So they're bringing other characters into the fold, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And basically, anyone who's played Uncharted 4 is going to buy this game because it looks amazing. And of course, we know what Neil Druckmann, Bruce Straley, and the team at Naughty Dog are capable of. The thing that I kept thinking about, and it kept coming to the back of my mind, is we don't know. You know, the people out here watching, the pundits who talk about video games, we don't know exactly what these developers are capable of. We don't know what they're working on. Neil Druckmann said in a interview after the PSX event that they wanted so badly to reveal The Last of Us Part 2 earlier than they did.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I watched that
it's been on his mind for a long time. And I was thinking, wow, they're doing that, but they're also doing more DLC for Uncharted 4. Very, very talented. And PSX began. Now, I got a list of a lot of the stuff that they've shown.
Me too. Yeah, I have it written down.
Would you like to go through some of that list, and then maybe at the end of it, we'll talk about the end, which was the cap on top of the nightcap, so to speak, of The Last of Us Part 2. We'll talk about that at the end because that was the big earth-shattering moment. But Robbie, you can pick some of the news from PSX, some of the stuff you thought was exciting, and we can go through it and talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to quickly go over the Uncharted: The Lost Legacy and say, when that was playing, like when Chloe was walking through the streets all in her robes and stuff, I was like, is this Uncharted? I couldn't figure it out.
I didn't know if it was going to be... I figured it could be an Uncharted. It could have been Tomb Raider. I had no idea what it was going to be.
I thought it might be Shadow the Tomb Raider. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but you guys know I have a Sony Xperia Z3 phone. Mm-hmm. You guys remember I got the PlayStation phone.
We don't. And are they paying for this advertisement?
Damn it, Briar.
Sponsor.
This ain't my day. But there was a portion of this trailer, and I recorded my reaction throughout the whole PSX. When she pulled out her phone, I said, that's my phone. Then I said, this is Uncharted. Everybody in my family looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's hilarious. That's where you cut it off. It's like, that's my phone. It's got to be Uncharted. That's funny.
Because they used that same phone throughout Uncharted 4 multiple times. So it looked like it was on the same graphical parity as Uncharted. Man. Very few developers are able to squeeze that type of power out of the PS4. So I was like, this looks like it could be an Uncharted game. I saw the phone. It has to be an Uncharted game, and I was right. But continue, Rob Skull.
Yeah. So the next thing they pretty much announced was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which I'm not usually into fighting games, but that was cool. Seeing Mega Man and Iron Man and stuff.
Yeah, that trailer was really good too. Like that
was cool.
You couldn't help but get hyped up for that. Just the way they introduced like Mega Man, everybody goes crazy, and then they introduced Ryu, and then the bad guys. Who was it? It was Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel came in. She's badass because her movie's coming too.
Iron Man. That's right. That was cool, man. It was a cool trailer. Very and cool. The fighting community has like major love for that series.
Insane. I know Justin Wong.
They also announced that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was coming to PlayStation as well.
Yeah,
and that's out, I think, right?
Yep, it is. I never got as much into Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as I did Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I was actually really good on a competitive level with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm looking forward to seeing just how much they change with Marvel vs. Capcom 4 and if they're able to kind of bridge that gap for the old school Marvel vs. Capcom 2 players to kind of get back in on the ground level and get their game up the way that we used to years ago in the arcade. But I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. For me, this is kind of a door opening moment, kind of similar to what they're doing with Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people don't understand that Kingdom Hearts is going to have a lot more stuff than we've ever seen before, like the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're going to have, the guys from the X-Men and Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts now. And all these options are available in this game as well, too, now. So we could see Guardians of the Galaxy characters fighting in Marvel's Capcom 4. We could see some of these guys from the Avengers fighting in Marvel's Capcom 4. We could see, anything. So it's really going to be exciting to see exactly what these developers are able to pull, what strings they're going to be able to pull to make this game more and more exciting. Because I remember Groot.
Yeah,
I am Groot.
You can have Groot.
I am Groot.
I'm Groot.
I am Groot.
That guy's vocabulary was just amazing. All the things he said. It's really something.
I am Groot.
All right, what's the next game?
What's the next game, Robbie? He caught you off guard.
I got it. On my list, one of the next games was, this isn't in any particular order. It's mostly ordered, but the Wipeout Collection, which I was a little disappointed because I thought that was going to be a new one. I was like, shit.
Another remastered. What's the next game?
Yeah. God damn it, Brian.
Wipeout's fun.
We're not going to do that, okay? Because I was playing my original PS1 demo disc, and I played Wipeout on there, and I was like, wow, this really takes me back. Oh, Briar, come back. Come back, Briar. Okay, Destiny, here. It was a sparrow. I thought it was Wipeout, but it was actually a sparrow, and he's back. Yeah, but for me, this gives a whole new audience of gamers a chance to see what was great about it when we were young and see what they actually add to the game. Wipeout was really fun, and it carved out its own niche in the racing genre. So I'm looking forward to see. Look, I'll just say this. Sony PlayStation Experience, they paid huge homage to the old games, Brian. They paid homage.
I'm glad they're doing a Wipeout remastered. New players will get a chance to play it. It's been a long time, but it's a remaster.
Yeah, wish it was a new
Let's
game.
move on to the new stuff.
Go ahead, Robert.
Right. So the next thing was the Destiny holiday update, known as the Dawning. Obviously, this is Christmas themed. Sparrow Racing League is back. New quests, all kinds of cool
lot of stuff, Briar.
There's a lot of stuff. Unexpected too, because we were expecting Sparrow Racing League, but we're getting three revamped strikes. We're getting a new strike scoring system so that you can compete on score in the strikes.
That's pretty cool.
We're getting all sorts of stuff in this thing. I'm sure there'll be a ton of microtransactions. So, if you have any leftover Christmas money, you can spend it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll have plenty to say about that on my YouTube channel.
It's so funny. He said Christmas money, but when you're the parent, that means something completely different than when you're the kid. Leftover Christmas money for me is going toward bills. But yeah, it's going to be exciting for Destiny players. And I really have to get that last DLC. I still haven't picked that up, Briar.
Oh, really?
I'm so fucking late and so old and pathetic. I shouldn't even be allowed to be on this show.
It's hard, man. There's a lot of games out. A lot of games.
It's really tough. You got to get around to that Far Cry 4, man. Robert?
Yeah, Briar. Get on Far Cry 4. What's wrong with you?
He said no. I like the cellophane look. It looks totally fine. I think if I open it up, it's going to lose some of its value. Yeah. It's like a comic book. What do we got next, Robbie?
All right, so one of the next things which, this hit me right in my childhood was the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I legit started tearing up as soon as they showed this because I played these games.
I was so mad that they're not making a new Crash Bandicoot.
No,
I think this is testing the waters for a new one.
This is the plan. What they've said is if they have enough of a critical reception of the Crash remakes, then we'll get a new Crash. Now, I
promise, guys, if you buy enough of this shitty old product, we will definitely make a new awesome thing.
They're doing it. Hold on,
it's another fucking remaster.
This is way different, though. This is like from the ground up, though. This game is going to play different.
Well, it does look like it plays different, but I love Briar's sales technique. He just sold the hell out of this game.
Jeez, Briar.
They should have had him on stage. Look, guys.
I promise. If you support us by buying this remaster, we'll definitely make a new Crash Bandicoot.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. This is great.
I promise.
He's got that cheap salesman look to him. He can sell it.
Oh, man. This is
the key is to just remain silent now.
Yeah, just the first person that talks loses.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I understand. People love Crash Bandicoot. That's fine. But it's a remaster. Well,
it's really older people, and it's more of a nostalgia effect than anything. The game had some real issues with the way that it played, and that's just being totally honest. It was one of the first of its kind on PlayStation, and people at that time were really keen to get something new and presumably exciting. They must have overhauled it. I hope that they do overhaul it. My wife was fucking going crazy when she was watching the trailers and seeing how it looked old to new and how her eyes were lighting up and her stomach was getting bigger and bigger with the baby every time they showed more in the trailer. I was like, wow, this is really exciting her. Hopefully the game doesn't play the way it used to. Oh yeah, wants to play some of that Crash.
All right, tell me about something new, goddammit.
Come on, Robbie.
Damn it. All right, I actually forgot to put this on the list, but I'm just remembering it now. Ace Combat 7 for VR. That's going to be cool, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was not excited about Ace Combat whatsoever until I heard it's going to have VR. They were like, I'll take
that's
a look
exciting.
At that.
Yeah.
And just as a side note for the people who don't know, Ace Combat originally started off as Air Combat. But continue, Robbie.
All right. This is the heavy hitter right here, man. This has to be one of the most anticipated games of our generation. Of course, I am talking about, wait for it, Knack 2.
Oh, baby. Mark
Holy damn, it's happening.
Let me just say this, okay? Because I've made some predictions.
Why is this on the list? Let's get to something fun and exciting. This is the most boring fucking list of new games. I was so excited watching the PlayStation experience happen. I'm like, holy shit, this game looks awesome. Oh man, this game looks awesome. This game looks And now I'm listening to you tell me the list of games. I'm like, that's a remaster. That's a remaster. That game sounds like it's. What the fuck is going on here, Robbie? What have you done to the PlayStation experience?
I'm just giving you the list. I find these exciting, so go to hell.
let me just say this, okay? Let me just say this, because Briar got me crying now, okay? Knack 2 is going to be good. For people who are doubting out there, Mark Cerny, he thought the Knack 1 was going to be amazing. He created that game.
Something?
He heard all that negative criticism, and he said, you know what? I want to take this game, turn it into something great. And it does look fun.
It does. They have balls announcing this here, and I got to tell you guys, I like Knack 1. I laughed out loud when this was announced. I did. I couldn't believe they announced it. All right, so
let's stop with the April Fool's stuff, because Briar wants to really be excited. Let's talk about some really exciting news. The shit that really made you shit your pants. The stuff that made your mom run to the living room and ask you, did you wipe yourself?
Give it to me.
We need some exciting stuff, Robbie. Give it to us.
Resident Evil 7 trailer.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
That does look good. I haven't played the demo. They have the VR demo up on the PlayStation Network now. You can download it now.
It's like $5.
I hear it's basically going to give around 94% of the population a heart attack. I think that's accurate.
Brian. Don't play this game if you have heart problems.
So I'm hoping I'm going to dodge that bullet. But I mean, it looks great. Like the game looks great, and I'm not even like a huge Resident Evil fan. Like you got Beasley, you're a huge fan. You must be like ecstatic.
I downloaded it and played it as soon as it installed. It's like 5 gigs to install. Basically, what it is the original demo with the added portion of that demo that became available later that I'd never played until last night. When you're playing it in VR, certain games you actually move around in with the controller, you can get kind of vertigo and feel uneasy. This like what's the one that you played initially, Brian? The horror game.
I can't remember the name of it.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
The one that's on the demo disc.
Yeah. Here they lie. Here they lie.
Oh, no, that's not on the demo disc. Yeah, that game made me nauseous almost immediately.
This controls like that, but it does not have any of that effect. You're actually controlling like you do in a traditional first-person game, but when you turn, the camera actually jumps a few frames to make it easier for you to turn around. I felt like I was really in the house. You play through the entire demo. You're talking to the guys. I felt like the one black guy who's about to get murdered because I was black around these 2 white guys who didn't give a flying fuck about everything that was happening around them. And I was like, I was talking to him like I was really there. And my wife was laughing out loud. I said, we should be going outside. You just saw that shit happen over there. What the fuck are you doing? But they weren't listening to me, so I know what it felt like in real life. But playing it in VR, I didn't know exactly how Capcom was going to implement it. Now that I've actually seen it and played it, the way that they're actually going to do it is going to be a full-fledged, real game that you control in 3D space the same way you would with a traditional controller. I don't know how the guns and stuff work because I didn't find them, but all this stuff, I was finding bullets. I just didn't find the gun.
Mm-hmm.
It feels really, really good. It feels very transformative, like you're there. The atmosphere was just as real as it was in the kitchen demo. And it just, I'm telling you now, that's going to be the #1 VR game of at least
I'm really
when
looking
it comes
forward
out.
to it. I don't even I don't like horror games at all. I used to be a fan of Resident Evil like a long time ago, but what they've done like with 5 and 6, it really didn't interest me at all. But I'm actually looking forward to this game because it just looks good. It just looks good, and it's VR. So like having a great VR experience is really important to me right now. Like I can't wait for that. I always wondered, is there any movie out there where it's like 6 white people and a black person go into a horror like situation, and the black person is the one who walks out, and all white people died?
There's only one.
Which one is it?
It's called Night of the Demons.
Okay.
1989, and the black guy's name is Roger. And yeah, it stuck with me because I was like, this is the only one that's fucking realistic. Yeah.
The only one that makes sense.
At the end of the film, it was Roger and a young lady who was dressed in like a wedding gown. It was a Halloween party at this house where this demon basically took over all these young teenagers who were fucking all over the place. And they possessed this girl named Angela. And basically throughout the house started killing everybody, and everybody became possessed. At the end, it was Roger, who was dressed as a pirate. And I'm trying to remember the girl's name. It was a little pretty white girl who was dressed like in a wedding gown. And they were outside. They were actually getting ready to leave this mansion that was enclosed. And there was this big giant fence. And then he saw these fucking creatures coming outside of the front of the house. And the girl fell down in true form. She tripped and fell and looked at the demons walking towards her. And Roger turned around and grabbed the barbed wire fence. And he fucking powered his way over that shit. He was screaming his ass off. He started screaming as he was grabbing the barbed wire. And this is one of those Dodge. This is one of those moments for Black history because it should be taught. It should be taught. Yes, he was climbing over, and you guys, it's called Night of the Demons, not the remake that came out years later. But Roger got the fuck out of there, and it stuck with me. And that was 20 years ago when I was watching it. And the fact that I remember his name lets you know that shit fucking stuck with me.
It's like it's ridiculous how everybody makes fun of the fact that in every fucking horror movie, like 6 white people walk in and 1 black person. The black person is there, so I don't know even why the black person is there, because they immediately fucking kill him.
That's what I said when I was playing Resident Evil, okay? And the thing is, now I'm starting to understand how white people trick black people into dying. It could be a banana peel. It could be anything. I'm walking into Resident Evil demo. Basically, I feel like I'm walking around with these 2 white gentlemen. And one starts talking to me. And I played the demo before on regular TV, so I should have known the other guy was going off somewhere to get killed. But this gentleman turned around and started talking to me about other shit. I'm actually having a conversation with him, and he's got me looking in drawers and stuff. And by the time I realized what happened, I was like, this fucking guy, he's going to get me killed. He's talking about shit that doesn't even matter, and I'm supposed to know.
So climbing out a window like a fucking smart person. I should.
Here. I'm going to upload that video. For the first 2 minutes, I stood outside. I was looking at them from outside. I said, I don't want to come in there with you fucking guys. But they were looking at me. Then they went around the corner. I said, well, now, strength in numbers. Now I got to fucking follow you. So
you know they're going to go in there and split up anyway. So what the fuck's the matter? Bring the numbers your ass out the fucking back door.
Exactly what happened. Frustrating as hell.
No kidding, man.
One thing that they did quite a bit of at PSX yesterday that was really pleasing to me, and something that's becoming more prevalent with more awards and shows, is that they did a lot of releases right now.
I love that.
Like that.
Some of them were demos. Some of them were going to be available later on in the night. And one of the games that they actually gave away for free, they showed a demo. They showed a demo, and I was like, wow, this looks like it could be interesting. I'm watching it as it happens. A game called Let It Die was available for free for PlayStation 4 users.
That's
a full
free?
game. Yes.
Yep.
Totally free. And so I downloaded it last night, and it looks like it's going to be interesting. I'll probably be doing some gameplay of it probably tomorrow after I get home from work. But they did quite a bit of that. And to me as a gamer, that's stuff that's really exciting to me. They also showed, I'm trying to remember the name of the company, but the game is called Nier Automata, and it's by
Platinum Games.
Starts with a P. Okay, Platinum Games, the creators of Bayonetta 2. It looks like it could be a fun RPG experience. I'm looking through my list.
So we're just going through BC's list because mine sucks or something? What?
Absolutely.
I'm all remasters, right?
I'm trying to keep people awake, Robbie.
Jerk.
Now, another thing that they showed at PSX this year, I'm not the biggest sports sim fan, but this actually looked really good. MLB The Show 17.
Retro mode.
Well, not just that, King Griffey. The entire game looks so good, and the retro mode showed. Yeah, and at the very end of this trailer, they showed this retro mode, which harkens back to old school SNES arcade style baseball games, and that's something that a lot of people are really going to enjoy. Have you guys ever gotten into the MLB games? I actually sent my brother.
I bought a few of them, and I played through like full seasons of them. I haven't bought any for the PlayStation 4, but I had multiples of them for the PlayStation 3. I really like those. Those games play really well if you like baseball.
Yeah, I actually bought an MLB game, but I've heard very good things. So,
I actually bought that game and sent it to my brother-in-law in Ohio. He's a huge MLB fan. Him and his son Chris. What up, Taiwan? Okay, so another thing that they showed
Joe,
that
Joe.
Really,
God damn it, Joe!
Yeah, Joe's always fucking up.
Joe, get your shit together, man.
Well, you know what, Joe? Did you even fucking watch PSX? Probably not. Probably doing laundry.
I think he did. I think he gave his fucking notes over to Robbie. Fucking Joe.
God damn it, Joe. Now, another thing they showed that I'm actually really excited about, because I am an old school RPG fan, and I'm a huge fan of Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, are you really excited though?
Yeah. You bastards.
Sure?
A beautiful new trailer for Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdoms debuted at PSX. Now, I'm a huge fan of Studio Ghibli. Studio Ghibli. Yes.
Yeah, I believe it's pronounced Ghibli.
Ghibli. I don't know. I've always called it Ghibli, and some people say Ghibli. All I know is they made Spirited Away. They made Kiki's Delivery Service. They made Princess Mononoke. So, bar none, some of the best animes of all time. These are full movies that are fully...
Kiki's Delivery Service? It's a real movie?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. I don't know if they show you guys in Canada. Maybe they only show the two twins from South Park up there. But down here, we see real shit. Good anime, okay?
Jesus, that was pretty good.
Savage tonight. This show has never been so savage.
This shit is just so
fucking
savage,
right,
man.
Like, I mean, when you start talking
about
armor
out up in here, like,
episode 135, the most savage we've ever blown.
Dodging bullets.
I gotta put on some armor to protect myself from all the savagery I'm getting right now. As a
You're
Canadian,
right.
I feel very threatened. Yeah, I'm gonna be dodging bullets.
If you had to grow up with Joe, you get pissed off every time you hear his name too. All right.
Fucking Joe.
Fucking Joe. Now, are you guys excited at all about Ni no Kuni? Did you guys get a chance to play it? I have it on PS3. I didn't get a chance to finish it because I'm a loser, and I admit that openly. But the game is really amazing. The narration is really good. It's a great narrative-based RPG. It's a beautiful game. It looks like it's hand-drawn by this team at Ghibli. And this... It's Giblets. But it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Is this something you guys might possibly be interested in if you get the time to play it?
I'd definitely try it. Straight up, no.
Thug life. We need to put the cigar in the sunglasses on Briar right now. I think that you know what? I know there's a lot of hardcore Studio Ghibli fans who are doing nothing but salivating over the prospect of playing this game, and I'm a huge fan of the studio myself. I'll definitely be picking that game up. I love it as much as Final Fantasy. All right, so another game that was revealed that I'm not really that super excited about, but a lot of people are, and obviously this game series has done well over time because they're like on the 25th installation, is the Yakuza series. Yakuza Kiwami is the remake of the PlayStation 2 Classic, and it's coming to PS4, and there's another one coming out in 2018, but I'm trying to remember the name.
Many Yakuzas. I've never even played it. I mean, it's like
Yakuza!
Japanese Grand Theft Auto, I guess, which would be cool, but I don't know. Just never played it.
Yeah, I've never played one either.
Oh, okay, wow.
There's so fucking many. Maybe I should. I don't know.
Yeah,
well, I think you should really start at the beginning now. You know what? Play them all, Robbie. Start at the beginning. Play each one of them, and we 25? Expect a full review next week.
Next week.
That's not very reasonable.
Can you imagine how Robbie would look if he actually tried to do it? Next week, he'd look dead body sitting there, eyes.
I probably have to quit my job to do that, so I'm not doing that.
All right. They did show, before we get to the ending news for PSX, they did show new footage from Horizon Zero Dawn. What did you guys think about that?
God
This
damn,
game is so exciting.
The game looks so
God.
good.
Fucking hell, I'm so excited for that game. I really am. I feel like at this point I'm sold on it. Like I don't need to see anything, but
I don't think
still,
anybody's
that
not
trailer, I'm
sold
like,
on the
yes. Oh, it just looks so good.
You know, to me, the whole idea of what this game represents and the possibility of what it's going to be, the game looks like it runs like a dream. Now, if they're able to convey a story and characters in a likable environment, the same way they have, you know, as well as the mechanics of going out into the world and taking these gargantuan mechanical beasts down, I swear it's going to be game of the year. It looks really
It
good.
looks fantastic. They're using that engine. They gave that engine to Hideo Kojima for his new game.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Death Stranding. We did mention Death Stranding and Konami.
But I mean, it looks fantastic. I'm worried, you know, I want to make sure there's a story there that, you know, engages me and keeps me wanting to play. I want to know, how big is this world? Is this an open world? Is this, you know, a series of levels that just look like an open world, kind of Uncharted 4 style? Like, what exactly am I looking at here? And also, how does it play? Like, because frankly, that was the thing about Killzone games for me, is they looked fantastic, but once I actually got them in my hands, I was always disappointed. So, you know, I'm excited for it, but, you know, like, I'm not going to go crazy.
Well, that's a very responsible and respectable way to approach a new series, a new franchise. And the thing is, they're talking about this. Shuei Yoshida said this is going to be our next big thing. So they are obviously putting a lot of weight and a lot of promotion behind it. I hope they're really successful. Another game that they showed that we didn't mention, and I want just pretty much you guys' input on it, and you guys let us know in the comments too, was Nioh, which is a game being made by, I believe, Tecmo. Is it Tecmo? Cool. Which is kind of a samurai.
That game looked cool as hell.
It's a samurai. It's a Team Ninja.
I believe so.
It's one or the other, but it's kind of a samurai old mythology take on games like Bloodborne or Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
Onimusha meets Dark Souls is what I've heard over and over
That's
again.
a perfect way to describe it. I actually downloaded the demo of this game a year ago.
Really?
A year ago. And like I told Kate, I said, the demo is probably nothing like what we're seeing now. Because I played the demo. It didn't look like what we saw yesterday. So I actually have an old piece of PlayStation history. I don't know if you can still download the original Nioh. But it is very, very similar to Bloodborne. Similar to Dark Souls and Demon Souls, in which the enemy types are extremely difficult to manage. But once you master it, it's very rewarding. It's parrying, it's jumping out of the way and dodging attacks and coming in with excruciating blows to take out your foes. But it looks like it's going to be really good, and that's something
graphically it looked really impressive, and having that type of gameplay in like that Japanese setting was very interesting to me as well, because what they could do with kind of like those Japanese monsters, and like they're kind of it's just a fresh look instead of just seeing that same Eastern European look over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the last time you saw anything like that was Onimusha, and that was PlayStation 2. So it's really refreshing to see someone kind of digging back into something that was successful years ago and trying to give it a whole new, a fresh take. And of course, marrying it with something as successful as the Souls series or Bloodborne, to me, as a recipe for success. The last game I wanted to mention before we actually get to The Last of Us Part 2, and I don't know if you guys have ever played this, because I know at some point you both have owned Vitas. Briar, you do now. Robbie, you sold yours. Gravity Rush 2. I saw this game. Yep. And I looked at it and I said, this looks like something that might be interesting. It looks like it could be a very, very fun game. I did beat the original on PlayStation Vita. It left a lot to be desired as far as the mechanics. The game was remastered and re-released on PS4, I believe, last year. And Gravity Rush 2, this new, I think it's just DLC, looks extremely fun. Is that something you guys...
It's not DLC. It's a new game, isn't it?
I think
it was DLC to play as Raven. Yeah, I think that's what they said
it's
in March.
DLC.
I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah. I like the first Gravity Rush though. I played it on the Vita when it came out. I really like that game, and Gravity Rush 2 is coming to PS4. Am I not wrong about that?
Absolutely, yeah.
It is. So I'm just gonna get it on there. Yeah. I mean, again, like all the Vita's games just went to PS4. So
hey, man, they were supporting Vita last night. I was really shocked to see that.
That was cool though, with Gio Corsi holding out the Vita. Yeah, that was really cool.
That was. I know there are a lot of people out there stuck on Vita Island that haven't really had any solace for the last year. They haven't heard any really good or promising news about the Vita until last night. That a lot of these games that were announced will be coming to the Vita as well. So they're breathing a little. It's on. Vita is on life support, but a very pretty nurse just came over and gave it mouth to mouth to give it a little bit of extra life. So that's exciting for people who are exclusively into the mobile space, handheld space.
Yeah, that's the way to say it.
Vita's going to get a little bit of extra life, and hopefully it moves it in the right direction. Now, the last little bit of news that we're going to talk about today from PSX 2016 was, of course, to me, the most earth-shattering news from the conference. The news that I did say that my prediction.
We already talked about the new Destiny stuff.
Oh, damn it, we did?
Yeah, we did.
Even the new icebreaker?
Show's over. Yep. That's it. Nothing else was announced, of course. Obviously, there's nothing we
The Last of Us 2. Let's break that glass ceiling right now and talk about The Last of Us 2. The funny thing about this reveal was when it first came on, Nova was sitting in my lap, and I looked at her and laughed and said, what if it was The Last of Us 2? And then she said, it is The Last of Us 2. And as the trailer continued on, and they showed the stop sign with the Firefly sign.
That's when I freaked out, man. I knew immediately.
And I said, it is The Last of Us 2. Oh. And then I held on to my butt because I remember the feeling that we had initially when Final Fantasy VII was just the remaster of the original Final Fantasy VII for PS4, and I almost shattered my television. So I waited. I was like, are they waiting 2 years, 3 years just to make another DLC? I know that my good friend Briar Rabbit told me that there's no way they're going to release anything like this, especially since Uncharted 4 just came out. There's no fucking way because they're still working on DLC. There's no way it's going to happen. BC, you're out of your fucking mind. So all that was playing in my mind, and I was like, well, it can't be because Briar couldn't be wrong. And then
you think they're gonna? You think that game's coming out in 2017?
No chance. No.
2019.
I doubt even 2018. Yeah, 2019 is very likely, I think.
Is a very reasonable expectation for this game. Well, the thing is, right, I was talking to my sons about it, and my sons are very one-dimensional gamers. They play Call of Duty all day long. And to them, this game is like Call of Duty is the only game. And I was talking to him, I picked him up Friday, and I said, well, what about games like The Last of Us or RPG games? What are the differences? And my son, spoken like a 14-year-old, said it takes talent to make Call of Duty. And I said, wow. I am going to talk to your mother and see if I... I said, well, see if I can get my name.
We're gonna have a talk, son. A big talk.
He said it takes a lot of talent and skill to make a Call of Duty game because of all the mechanics that go into it. Then I had to break down to him exactly what goes into a story-based game and how you got to craft this story, meaningful story, likable characters, a beautiful world, and then on top of that, you got to create gameplay mechanics. Is he asleep? I can't see him. I'm still looking at the beautiful news.
Kind of like fell under
The Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2, though. How did you feel about seeing Joel and Ellie again? Like it was pretty dramatic the way it opens up,
I uploaded a video earlier today about this.
I don't want to watch your video. I want to hear you say it. How did you feel about seeing Joel and Ellie?
Do you want to see me cry too? All right, so this is how I felt. When I first saw Ellie, I didn't know what was going on because it showed her hand bleeding. I thought it was a guy who just beat someone's ass. When I saw her eyebrow, I knew it was her. I felt that emotional resonance. She was older, very similar to the feeling I got when I saw Clementine as an older girl in The Walking Dead. Now, I saw this complete, utter destruction that happened around her as she started to play her guitar, which,
she had just killed a fucking mess load of people.
Ton of people. Killed a girl by the bathtub. And then I see Joel outside approaching very calmly, very peacefully.
Like, this is no big deal for Joel. Like, he walks in on Ellie fucking murdering all the time.
Well, this is the thing, right?
By now. They've been together for a while.
I don't know if you guys, watched the interview with Neil Druckmann and Ashley Johnson and all these people afterwards, but they said this story is about her. And Troy Baker said that, Joel is the person he misses the most. When Joel walked into the room, he had his gun. He had the same jacket from the original Last of Us. Hadn't changed. His hair and his beard hadn't turned gray. He looked exactly the same as he did in the original game. And, of course, we know Ellie's 19 years old now, so this has been 6 years. He looked at Ellie and said, he said, what are you doing, kiddo? And she didn't look at him for a while. And then she looked at him and said, I swear I'm going to get every last one. Last one of them.
So we saw the trailer, too. But what I want to know is, how do you feel about Joel and Ellie coming back for Last of Us 2? How do you feel? Like, are you excited about it? Did you? We had a conversation after Last of Us saying, I hope they don't make a sequel to this game because we felt like that was a good place for the story to be left off.
Well, I feel great to see them both, but I think we're being cleverly misdirected right now. I don't think that they're both in this game.
What?
Okay.
I believe, this is what I was getting around to. I believe that after the events of the original game, and I might be crazy, let's just mark down this episode. I believe that Joel is
crazy. Okay, go.
I believe that Joel's dead. And the reason I believe that is for a few reasons. Ellie swore she's going to get every last one of them. Joel walked into the situation kind of in an oblivious state, like he really didn't understand or care about.
So that wasn't really Joel. That was just her remembering Joel, or like imagining he was there.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't look like he changed. She looked like she changed quite a bit. And Neil Druckmann stated, and I quote, "The Last of Us Part 2 is a story of revenge."
Yep. Well, it lines up, man. That adds up. That's a good theory.
It's a story of vengeance, and she looked like she had become the badass that he wanted her to become. There was a machete laying by her foot. She fucked these people up. Joel walked in. Usually he's the protector, but he's outside, walking in from this ray of light like an angel would. And in my mind, she looked at what a projection of her memory of him was. And possibly, who knows, what happened at the end of The Last of Us 2. Maybe someone raided Tommy's compound, killed them all, and she escaped. Who knows what had happened? But of course, it looks like this is an issue that they're going to have with the Fireflies after the events of the first game. Possibly the Fireflies had killed Joel, and she had become this beast. But to me, looking at the two of them, it didn't seem like Joel was really there. I felt like she had.
That was well. We didn't really see his face, though. To be fair, we kind of saw behind him. So
it showed his beard and it showed his hair, and to me, that's enough. A few years adds.
When you're saying that, he didn't look older. He still had the kind of speckled gray. You'd think after 6 years it'd be a little more gray, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
And he had the same jacket.
It's so early, though.
But let me just say this: the direction that they're taking this story is it seems to be very, very hard, much harder than the original game. It seems like they're focusing now more on the anger aspect of this is what Neil Druckmann said. The first game was a story of love and connection between Ellie and Joel. This story is going to be about nothing but anger and revenge. And so, to me, it seems like Ellie. Look at
kill some fools.
Yeah, I can't wait. To me, this is one of the greatest Christmas gifts I could get years in advance. I know that one of my favorite game franchises of all time is alive and well. I know that the character that I'm actually naming my daughter after is a big part of this story. I do know that we're going to get new and amazing multi. Yeah, her name is going to be Joel.
Obviously, it's Joel.
Joel Ellie, Queen
King of Beastlow was in Last of Us.
King of Beastlow.
King of Beastlow.
And Dick Trickle, him too.
I'm really excited about. Shut up, Robbie. I forgot about that.
We had a bunch of stupid names
Dick
too.
That is silly shit. But it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I watched it in 4K on my monitor, on my laptop. I just honestly can't wait. I was really taken aback. I was kind of stuck in the moment. This is something I've wanted for years. One of my favorite modern games of all time is getting a true successor, and it's about these people. And like I told my wife, she said, well, Troy Baker is not going to just let them kill off his character. I said, well, he could be in the game just as much as he normally would have been as far as narrative goes, but it could be a lot of flashbacks. It could be a lot of him coming in and guiding her through these tough times.
Baker doesn't write the script either.
Yeah.
No, it's Naughty Dog, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts, Briar?
I mean, I'm down to play this game, right? I love the first one. I can't wait to play the second one. Unlike you, I'm not a big fan of the multiplayer. So I was kind of wondering, like, are you, what are you hoping for with the multiplayer? Like, are you like an evolution? Would you like more of the same? Like,
no, it definitely needs to be an evolution. There's so much going on in the multiplayer. Changing 5 or 6 things could completely turn the whole game upside down and make it more enjoyable. Yeah. And that's what you hope for when developers have something as amazing as, a following as The Last of Us. This game is years old, and the multiplayer community is still just as big, and there's YouTubers growing every single day just from that game alone. So it does have a very, very solid and committed following. I think that the multiplayer aspect of this game is almost as big, in my opinion, as a single player, because it's just, they do it so well. They do it so well.
The thing they killed with the multiplayer was feeling like you were building towards something with like that kind of side story they had going
the
on.
The meta, yeah.
Yeah, that was very, very cool. It's been a while, so Beasley, you might have to help me out here, but it was like you had a community that you were trying to build, like this fictional community that you were trying to build. So your performance in the multiplayer would then relate to how well your fictional community was doing. Yep. And you'd kind of get updates on that as you're going. It made it feel like
real.
I don't know about real, but it felt more like it was part of the Last of Us like world, right? It wasn't just another tacked on multiplayer. It felt better than that. It felt like more connected to the single player than most multiplayers do.
It felt more connected to you. And the way that they were able to do that and convey it so well is during the multiplayer of The Last of Us, for people who don't play it, you're able to log in on Facebook. So you log in on Facebook with your real Facebook account. And once you accept that, all of your friends from Facebook begin to become migrated into The Last of Us. So what you have is a list of things that you need to try to complete. And once you choose one, like say, for instance, I want to mark enemies. And it might tell you to mark 12 enemies within 3 games. As long as you mark 12 enemies, your community is going to grow. People are going to find your base, and it's going to continue to grow. And it's going to actually be people from your Facebook. So you're going to see your friends and your family doing certain things in the meta game. This person might be hunting. This person might be, finding supplies. This person might be injured. And as long as you continue to do well in the meta game, of course, these accomplishments become harder and harder the farther you go within this 12-week period. It's 12 weeks, and after the 12-week period, basically that's your score. And if you can't keep up, you start over. But after 12 weeks, depending on how many people you have, that's really the score you're going to get. And if you screw up, lots and lots of your people can die. If you choose to kill people with bitch bombs or kill people with Molotov cocktails and you don't accomplish what you're supposed to, then a lot of your community is going to die and people get sick. So you really got to do well. And that's what I meant by they make it feel real, because every now and then you'll have a list of 3 people from your Facebook and you got to choose which one of them you're going to let die. And so you look and you might see a friend and 2 family members.
Is Joe on your Facebook?
His fucking ass is, yeah.
Fucking Joe. God's sake.
I love you, Joe.
God damn it, Joe.
Joe watched our last episode. He sent me a message. You guys are something else. I said, we love you, man.
Did he watch it? He watched
that? That was funny, yeah.
Robbie saw him on Facebook.
Yeah.
He said, you chumps.
That was great.
We love you, Joe. And we only got on you for doing that laundry once. But doing laundry led you to get a PlayStation VR, goddammit. So I need to go start watching clothes now. But yeah, I think that The Last of Us 2 is huge news. I think that this is one of those things, and this is why I say that Sony has no issue announcing things for a win now, but they'll make you wait. That's why I say that next year they're going to announce PS5, which, Brian, there is lots and lots of news circulating now that this is something that's on Sony's table to announce PS5 in 2017. Well, you said that about
2017? That would be crazy.
No, I said an announcement.
Oh.
Kind of like how they announced Final Fantasy VII Remake, like in 2013, and we still don't have it. It was a win, and that's all that matters. And I think Sony's kind of learned that. The public sphere and social media mean a lot. And if people get the perception that you're doing something amazing, whether they get it in their hand now, it is perceived as a win. And that's why I think that next year, before the Xbox One Scorpio comes out, Sony is going to announce something just crazy. And it might be 2020 before we see it. But that announcement alone is going to have people talking and give people the perception that Sony wins. And this is another way that they win at PSX. Just having Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog announce a game like The Last of Us 2, which is, of course, a AAA huge exclusive for the PlayStation brand. Of course, you're not going to see it probably until 2019. But what happened? It made the PlayStation experience that much better, that much more exciting, and gave people something to hold on to. And sometimes that's all you need as a company to keep your brand successful. And I think Sony's learning that. Mm-hmm. I don't think I could have said that better myself.
Brag about it.
Said a lot.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm excited. I think PSX
I knew you would be, man. Like, Last of Us is your game. Like that.
I literally had tears in my eyes, Briar.
Yeah.
I haven't uploaded the video just yet. I'm still mulling it over. But yeah, I was really excited. I was squeezing my daughter. I forgot she was a living being. I thought she was like a cushion from the couch. I was just gripping her so tight. But it was super, super exciting.
Gorilla hands? Oh boy, I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, it was one of those things, man. PSX, they got down this year. The Game Awards were a lot of fun. One thing we didn't mention, and I'd like to do it real quick before we leave today, is that Jeff Keighley did mention and take the time at the beginning of the Game Awards to shine the spotlight on the industry icon Hideo Kojima and kind of let people know exactly what this guy meant. He mentioned how Konami kind of screwed him, last year. Now he was hidden away in a room and he couldn't leave it. And he wanted people to understand just how important it was to recognize the work and the pedigree that this man has put into the gaming industry that's really enriched and made many of our lives better by being able to immerse ourselves in his imagination. And I thought that was very, very telling of the kind of independent conference the Game Awards is, and how it's not owned by anyone, it's not owned by other interests, it's for the gamers and by the gamers. And I thought it was really important that they did that, and I really appreciate the way they did do it.
It really added credibility to when the Schick Razor came out on stage. And
the ads, there's way too many ads, man. There's some cringy moments too.
I was really upset.
I will say, last year's Game Awards, I thought they nailed that. That was fantastic. This was not quite as good, but it was still good overall, I thought. I don't know.
Killer Mike and them was out there rapping. They had a good time. I thought overall it was a really good one. You can't do everything right, but as far as PSXs go, this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, what did you guys think of the performances, too, at the Game Awards? I want to hear your opinion on that.
I didn't watch them.
Hey, man, if they don't have Aqua Barbie Girl, I'm not down.
I mean, this is not an argument that can be defended against.
Yeah. 2 out of 3 of the performances I didn't think were good. I thought the Doom one, that was sick. The other 2, I was like, this doesn't make any sense for a Game Awards show.
Well, they tried to.
They uploaded it to YouTube and it got a copyright strike.
Oh, really?
Really?
It got fixed really quick, obviously, but I thought that was hilarious.
Well, see, the thing is, Robbie, and it's really hard to see it. I'm not a big country guy or rock guy, but they had a little something for everybody. And as long as you felt like you were slightly included, it might be music you don't like. It might be an artist you might not know, but they tried to do a little something for everybody to get everybody's energy up. And I think overall it was very, very successful.
Very true.
They need to figure a way to get the advertising out of the show itself.
Yeah, you're so right.
Too heavy.
Man. Yeah. That fucking Schick Razor guy, I wanted to just rip the top off of him and see what he did then.
The whole show loses credibility because of it.
Yeah. And they kept going back to the Assassin's Creed thing, and some people were like, "Oh, I'm so excited about this and this." I'm like, "No, you aren't. Shut up!"
Did you hear the guy talking to the young lady at the Assassin's Creed booth? He said, "Why are you yelling?" She said, "Oh, I'm excited." He said, "I'm not that excited, but I thought it was pretty damn cool." It is what it is.
Sometimes it's so painfully obvious when people are like, "Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about that," and you can tell. I'm like, "No, you're not. It's so scripted. It's so bad."
Before we end the show, because I know we did go a little bit longer than usual, and we had to. It was a very, very important show. I want to ask you guys in the comments below how you felt about the Game Awards 2016, how you felt about the nominees. Do you think that Overwatch deserved it over Uncharted 4 or Doom? Who would you have given Game of the Year to? Let us know here on Twitch. Let us know on YouTube. And give us your thoughts on The Last of Us 4. Last of Us Part 2.
What? Last of Us 4?
Look,
what the fuck did I miss?
I'm so
where have I been?
Look, The Last of Us Part 2, give us you guys' thoughts on The Last of Us 2. And if this whole idea of possibly Joel not being alive even seems realistic, watch the trailer. Let us know what you think in the comments, because I watched it, and that was the feeling I had. And as someone who's a huge fan of Joel from The Last of Us, a gigantic fan of Troy Baker, that's the last thing that I want. But I gotta be real. That's just the vibe that I got from watching it. And I hope I'm wrong. I pray that I am, because I'd like to see Joel and Ellie continue the relationship, see exactly what it's blossomed into, rather than see Ellie face this harsh reality alone without the guy who helped her and made her strong. But let us know in the comments what you thought about the Game Awards overall, and especially let us know what you thought about The Last of Us Part 2 and PlayStation's Experience 2016.
Yep.
You okay, Brian?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Last of Us 2. I hope that comes out sooner rather than later. I'm really looking forward to that game. The first one was so good. Is that going to do it for the show?
Game.
We done? It was a good show.
It was a great show. Today. I was looking forward to this.
A lot of information. Should we do a Game of the Year award
next year? Next week? Yeah.
Our own podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe.
I mean, it's hard because we haven't all played all the games, right? But maybe we could do like individual picks.
Yes, that's great.
And then we could fight. We could have a death match for like. We could have a death match. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can pick. You guys listen in the comments was a good idea, but I'm thinking we could probably pick 5 finalists and pick our top of those 5, and then we can duel it out to make one of those the Beastly Thoughts Game of the Year.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a few categories too.
Sweet.
Figure it out.
Yeah, let's think about it. I think that'd be fun. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming today. It's good to see both of you.
Thank you. You too.
I love you guys. Thank you all so much for watching and coming and kick it with us every Sunday.
You there. You.
Stop fingering the camera, Robbie.
Okay, let's end the show on that note. Jesus. Finger in the camera. Good night, guys.
Do you feel uncomfortable, Robbie? Has Beastly made you uncomfortable?
Absolutely. Look at that grin.
Look at that.
Shitty.
Look at he's turning red.
That is a shitty grin. He actually has the real thing.
He's turning the same color as his flag.
Red and white, yeah. White skin, red face,
Oh, God.
Oh, white shirt, too. Makes sense. Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Finger those cameras. Bye, everybody.
Finger those cameras. Damn it, Robbie, you freak. Now I know what you're into when you're all by yourself.
Jesus. Oh, God.
What good energy. What a great show, guys.